Well, good morning. Well, good. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another vlog and another video. So, um, I had thought about doing a vlog and a video on this for a little while, for a little while now. So, you may recall in one of my videos I did a couple months ago, few months back, I think in early mid March and stuff. Um, one of our on one of my videos that we on one of my video on one of my video on one of my videos that I ended up doing to Hamlin when we went to Hamlin Beach State Park just to take a little stroll around, just just to take a little stroll just to take a little stroll around. I've kind of mentioned before in one at least one of my videos before how I haven't struggled a whole lot with this like a whole entire amount of my a whole entire amount of my first half of a whole entire amount of first half of my life, but off and on have struggled with this. Um, you may remember me telling you how off and on I've had struggles with using camera devices legally. Um, so basically, um, so this situation is way in the past, but a long time ago, um, years ago, years and years ago, for my 21st birthday, and this now I've pretty much gotten rid of now, and is pretty much now long gone, and I've pretty much gotten rid of for a long time now. Back then, for my 21st birthday, which would have been back in December 2005, long time ago, soon before this place had opened up and soon before we had moved in here, I had gotten a video camera and camcorder type camcorder type thing. You know what I'm talking about, right? Started out okay with that for a while. Then as time went on, started kind of having issues and stuff. Um, this was well when I this was well when I was a lot younger, years ago, years years ago, way before I ever started, way before long before I had ever decided to long before I had ever decided to start YouTubing and stuff. But as time went on, we had gotten into situations where we had constantly brought it to like certain festivals and carnivals, parades, and even certain amusement parks where there was like, mostly when we would see people of the opposite sex, mostly young females, we were kind of, you know, using it as the wrong way to capture like, images for like sexual references and stuff. You probably have an idea what I'm talking about. Like when we would see like certain females come by that we thought that we thought were very attractive, um, having the picture um uh, focused on them at times, and we did at times have some times where people that were with them would flip out and would end up, at times there we do remember that we did have a couple of times where we had faced one of their other people that happened to be with them at the time coming up and blowing up at us, for stuff for such stuff like that. Um, and um, one of the carnivals that we had went to, we eventually faced some confrontation with the security. Well, again, all this was a long time ago, long before I ever decided to start, long before I ever decided, long before I ever decided, long before I ever decided to start YouTubing and stuff. But um, there was one time when we went at one of the carnivals we went to, where things had gotten to a point where we ended up facing confrontation with the security, stating that people had ended up complaining about us, videoing and stuff, and that they had asked, and of course they had asked that we put it to rest the rest of our time. In other words, put the whole thing away the rest of our time there till we were ready to leave and stuff. Um, and then a year later, there was this one time where we went to this one fireman's parade out in Spencerport a year later, long time ago, you know, and got things to a point where one of their people came up and said, if you look at this young lady one other time, I'm gonna go find some of this. I'm gonna go find the security. I'm gonna go seek out the. We're gonna go. I'm gonna go seek out the. I'm gonna go seek out. I'm gonna go seek out this. I'm gonna go seek out. I'm gonna go seek. I'm gonna go seek out. I'm gonna go seek out the security. And then, and then later on in the year, that fall, when we went to a high school football game, we eventually, again, of course, got into a situation where um, uh, we had gotten into a situation where when we saw certain young females passing by, we were doing, what I'm probably going to say, we were constantly, like, putting camcorder, video camera thing, having the picture, focusing on them. And it eventually got to the point where we had, again, of course, faced some confrontation with the security and, a couple of the police officers that happened to be patrolling the entire event, saying how, it seemed like each time that such people would come by, we were putting the camera, having the picture focusing on them, and pretty much, of course, they had asked, of course, that we put the whole thing away. Put the whole thing away the rest of our time. The rest of our time there till we were ready 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 to leave and stuff. And then after that, it got to the point, and then we even had, not too long after that, did a couple of things to push some of our people that had at the time back then been working here at the time working here at the time working here at the time, um uh you know to push a couple of our people that had been working here at the time away a good bit. you know final straw then at the time was when we had been in here chatting with one of our people that had currently been working here at the time about stuff that was on our mind. And we happened to have had at the time had a tripod for the camcorder and video camera that we had at the time. We had set it up in a different room where they wouldn't see it at first right away when they came out here into this room, but we set it up in the next room right over by the doorway. And so eventually, when they had finally noticed it, after they had at first stepped out and came back going like, did you have the video camera running, videoing our conversation? Initially, we had kind of just lied and said no, but of course that obviously wasn't true. In the end, the answer was yes, we did. The answer was the the answer was the answer the answer was yes, we did. The answer was yes, we did. And so then, after that final straw, things had said, well, you know, my mom and company had pretty much, said, well, then video camera stuff is just going to have to come here. And so that's what we had to do is give that all up. And then that was pretty much a done deal after that. Um, uh, uh, at first it was going to start out as temporary, but then after the issue that I had making comment during my first year, during my time in my first year working at Wegmans, during my time at Wegmans, remember when I did the video when I remember in one of the two vlogs and two videos I did in my termination story with Wegmans, remember, from a few months back, I think mid-February, maybe early March, I think it was mid-February, I think that I did my two vlogs on my termination story with Wegmans from last year. On my termination story with Wegmans and stuff from last year. I think you may recall when I had talked about when we got into the situation where it said an excuse like just need more video footage of more young females and stuff, and where it had gotten people all concerned and made people all nervous, remember? And when we had gotten into that situation, one of our other people here had asked, quote, what do you think we need to do about the video camera? And pretty much when that situation had all came up, that was where things had all decided it's time to have a completely different tactic taken, which meant now having to be done with the camcorder and video camera stuff for good. And that was that then. As far as the latest camera issues that we had, so year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, just pretty well under a year before I had decided to start YouTubing and stuff. Almost 2 years ago, when we had went to U.S. side of Niagara for my 33rd birthday celebration stuff, and we had planned to do 2 nights and a full day out in the area. One night out in U.S. side of Niagara Falls, and one night out in Cheektowaga. The first night we spent in U.S. side of Niagara Falls. That evening, late that night, we decided to go and grab and have dinner. We ended up staying at Seneca Niagara Casino and Resort. It was our third time going and spending the night there, doing it all there. That night, we had went and had dinner at their Thunder Falls buffet. We ended up getting seated next to this young family. It was mom, at the time it was mom, dad. They had a little girl. They had a little girl and stuff. And I think grandma was there too. The mom seemed pretty attractive. When our partner had took the opportunity to get up and grab some more food, grab a little more grub, we apparently got to the point where we decided to get up and apparently take our tablet when they weren't looking and actually clicked our tablet. You probably know what I'm saying. And got to a point where we had attempted to, you know what I'm probably going to say, you know what this means, picturing picturing the mom and stuff. And then we ended up picturing the mom kind of, and stuff, you know. And then it all led to first some of the officials at the place at Seneca Niagara Casino and Resort had came and at first talked to the family and stuff first about what had just went on. Then they came over to us and talked about how, they had, stated how we had made the move of taking our tablet and picturing the mom, kind of part of it involving facing, probably cleavage and stuff in a way. Wasn't like completely up close, but enough where they could pick up what was going on eventually. And of course, they had asked that we delete, the picture that we had snuck in there, of course, And then like I told you, just like a week and a half before I had faced termination last year, well over a year ago from Wegmans, at the final Wegmans United Way charity kickball tournament from last year, when I had kind of, took a little bit of a video of one of our people sliding into home base and stuff. And that's where it got to be a good bit of a concern. And when one of our other people that hadn't heard the whole story here yet had asked, what's the decision that's been made on your tablet? And how we had said how when we go out on our own, each time we bring it down to the office here and leave it right there till we come home. And so that's pretty much the main story, the main part of the story about the issues and struggles that we've had with using camera legally and stuff. The thing that I guess had triggered off the situation from almost 2 years ago, just under a year before I decided to start YouTubing and stuff. So hours before that, when we were just getting ready to get on the road and head for our weekend out to USF Niagara, again, one first night out in USF Niagara, again two the second night out in Cheektowaga, again the second night out in Cheektowaga, second night out in Cheektowaga and stuff. And our partner that was going with us came down and said, all right, let's leave. And so we did so. We gathered our stuff, piled it all into our van, and then headed down. But we were just kind of thinking about how, glad we got this going on, but just feeling sorry, all these people that seem like when you if you suspect and you're with them outside of LAI outside of LA out, outside of LA outside of LAI outside of this place, you know, you think you're with them, it's all, all it is just like a, maybe we'll go this day, certain places. Around here, it kind of takes a little bit more effort, and it's kind of based on the resources and, based on what the stability of the resources and stuff. But yeah, so, and the young family that we had gotten sat next to that night, our first night that we had spent in U.S. side of Niagara at Seneca Niagara Casino and Resort overnight, the first night that weekend that we had spent in around the Buffalo Niagara area. We were just thinking, they had the little girl, and it's like, man, during the summer months they're probably easily going and hanging out by the pool and stuff. I wish it was that easy for us. you know. Um, and one other thing before that, soon after that night, I remembered soon after we checked in, we decided to kind of go and hang out by the pool area that they got over at Seneca Niagara Resort area, which of course was an indoor, which of course was there, which of course was all, which of course was all indoors and stuff. Um, one thing it is obvious that do kind of try and learn that we do have to understand is the reason why you'll see other people taking like their phones and picturing some of their people with them and stuff is because they're their people and stuff. They have reason to take some pictures of like mom and dad, cousin, aunt and uncle, grandma and grandpa, cousin, aunt and uncle. They have every they have every they have every they have every right to pictures, like their kids or grandkids with their phones and stuff, because those are their important people. You want to have pictures that you can put in like your history books and memory books of a lot of the great times you had. We weren't, of course, we were not so much in that situation. It was just us and our partner that went with us. So we had asked if like, oh, would you care to do like a shot of us around over here in the pool? And they said, well, there's all these other people here, and it's kind of in public place, so really can't really. We took it all right at the time. you know um and but we were just constantly feeling sorry, like, oh, these people over here, they have more, like, things may not seem so controlled as much as it seems are controlled over here. you know um I'm sorry if it may be confusing you a little bit, but maybe you do have an idea what I'm referring to. But anyway, um, so you see, just being spent by the fact that things seem tend to seem more controlled over here. Things tend to seem more controlled over here than they do seem so much over there. I guess that was what was going through our mind at the time. But the fact is, I mean, in the end, it is obvious that we do all have to come to the realization that there's a lot better ways and more healthier ways to handle things like that. But anyway, so that's why, we're kind of in that situation where we don't do a lot of videoing and vlogging off site. We're definitely still going to continue to do vlogs and videos around here, and like, certain places, like if we continue to do other outings to like Hamlin Beach when we're with my dad, maybe stuff like that. And believe it or not, the weather's looking good for this Friday for going and spending it, maybe not the entire day at Letchworth State Park, but a good part of the day at Letchworth State Park. And it looks like that's what we're going to do. So this year we're to the point where things have said that maybe like, bringing our thing and bringing our device and our tablet and, maybe like taking pictures and stuff with staff supervision around here. But still, when we go out on our own, leaving it here in the office. So now, I'm not sure we'll really be able to have any opportunity to do any video when we go to Letchworth State Park this Friday. But if we take any pictures and stuff, we could definitely show you. We could definitely show you soon after. Then 2 weeks from yesterday is when we go on our Thousand Islands trip for a couple of days in Clayton. Now we may bring our thing there for taking pictures with staff supervision, and mainly of our partner that's going with us. I don't know if we'll have much opportunity to do any vlogging or videoing there really, but again, we can definitely show you and give you an update and show you pictures soon after we've come back. We'll see how that all pans out. And you see, that's why I told you that we couldn't really do any. That's why I told you that at this point right now we can't really do any vlogging or videoing really so much at places like Darien Lake and stuff. But how we gave you the update on how that all went and stuff, and even showed you a little bit of, well, we only brought one thing back with us this time around, which was fudge. If we do try to go a second time, maybe like next month before the season's up, maybe we'll bring a little bit more back, souvenir wise or whatnot. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see where that all goes. Maybe trying to plan and go a second. Try and plan and go a second time for next month. Should hopefully be able to work. It should hopefully be able to work out. It should. But just a few days before that, weather permitting, weather dependent, we are kind of due to go to Seabreeze with a few of my cousins and with the bunch of my cousins next Friday. Now, the fact that it's supposed to heat up a good bit of next week, and it may be a good bit warmer end of next week based on the 15-day forecast I saw on the weather.com Weather Channel website for here in Rochester so far. Last I saw, there could be more opportunity for scattered thunderstorms. So we'll see where that all goes and stuff. Probably won't be able to do any vlog or video there, but we can definitely at least give you an update on how it all goes. Day after that is Holbrook reunion and stuff out around Cayuga Lake and stuff. Again, we can't really do any vlog or video there because my stepmom will be there, and my stepmom's had little one too many rough experiences, camera wise with other people, doing some unnecessary camera stuff around her. So again, she can never be in any of my videos. She will never, one person that will never be in any of my videos. My stepmom will never be in any of my videos. It's just been too much camera issues and stuff, too much rough camera issue experiences involving other people. My storage space is probably getting pretty close to being full on my tablet, so I think enough talking about that for now. Take a quick look outside. Again, I told you today, being the middle of the week, it was going to get back up into around 90, and it's slowly, little by little, feeling that way again. As of now, I decided to try and do my next visit to Brighton Recreation Center pool later on this afternoon, just for a little while. And yep, sun shines out pretty good right now, but it's starting to feel close, getting close to 90. More like going back out into the oven again. So alright, I'm going to end the vlog and the video there. If you enjoyed this vlog and this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up for sure. Be sure to go down and comment down below. Be sure to go down and subscribe for sure. Take it easy with the seed, everybody. Take it easy with the seed, everybody here in Rochester. Stay cool. We'll see you in the next vlog and the next video. I'll talk to you later.